So today we are looking at the Tuxedo OS 3. So here is the boot menu. Let me quickly boot it in the live boot. So Tuxedo OS is based on the Ubuntu and the desktop environment is a KDE Plasma desktop environment, and the Linux distro is from the Germany. So the booting process will take 3 to 4 minutes usually in my PC, and I'm running it on a virtual machine which is a VMware with 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So I'm going to discuss about the system requirements for this Linux distro in the middle of the video. So I'm going to let it load the desktop layout. So basically it's going to take complete like 5 minutes in order to set up also the live boot sessions. So I'm going to discuss as soon as some installer will be opened after like 3 minutes. So I'm going to wait until that. So we are going to continue there. So here is our setup for the live boot. So as soon as the Tuxedo OS loading screen is completed, you should be welcomed with the setup here. So it's German language here. You need to change your language. If it's German, you can use it if you know the German, or else you have like plenty of languages available here. You can choose whatever language you want. I'm going to choose the American English, and I'm going to set up the language and all the other things. Choose your map or the location. You can choose the map or you can choose the drop down menu for the location. And also there are some other options like the system language will be set to American English United States. If you want to change, you can change it by clicking here, or else you can keep it like that. The numbers and date locales will be set to American English United States. If you want to customize, you can customize, or else keep it like that. Click on next, and you should be seeing the keyboard model here. So it will automatically chooses your keyboard, but if anything is wrong, just choose your keyboard right here and choose the language for your keyboard and the variant for the keyboard. And also you can test your keyboard right here, and also you can switch your keyboard. Click next, and here you should be seeing the session type, or you can keep it like a X11 default. When you click on the advanced settings recommended for advanced users, you can keep it X11, or else you can choose the VLAN. So you can choose the X11 or the VLAN in the options. So you can select the X11 or VLAN. I'm going to choose the VLAN and I'm going to set it up. So it's going to take like 2 or 3 minutes usually. So basically the booting process completion will take like 5 minutes to 6 minutes until the desktop layout loads. So you need to wait until the desktop layout loads. So let's wait and see, and I'm going to discuss everything from there. So here you can see the desktop layout loaded completely. It took almost 5 minutes. So before touching any display settings or any applications, I'm going to show you how much of resource it's consuming. So let me open the system monitor, and I'm going to show you the CPU issue in the KDE Plasma 6.1.4. So you should be seeing CPU almost 100% touching without opening any of the applications, because it has the issue in the 6.1 version and 6.1.4. So complete 4-point updates are having the same issue. I tried even in the bare metal with the other Linux distros with the same KDE Plasma desktop environment, and every Linux distro has issue. The day before yesterday, I made like a Ubuntu Arch Ultimate Arch Linux or Ultimate Arch Lite Linux, which is called as a Linux distro. So that Linux distro has the same issue with the KDE Plasma version, but I switched it to other session, which is Mac desktop environment. And other desktop environment has no issues with this type of thing with the CPU. Only the KDE Plasma has the issue with the CPU, but I tried the Mac desktop environment and every other sessions. That Linux distro has some other sessions like a MAT, TPIN, XFCE, GNOME, and all those things. I tried the MAT, but I didn't find any issues. It was running smoothly. But I when switched to KDE Plasma, there was again the issue with the CPU. And everything will be like a laggy, and there will be no smooth experience while you choose the KDE Plasma. So I'm going to show you throughout the video in this Linux distro video. So I'm going to change the display settings now. Let me change the display settings. So here you can see the host name is Tuxedo OS, operating system Tuxedo OS 3, KDE Plasma version is 6.1.4, Frameworks version is 6.5.0 and Qt version is 6.7.2. So I'm going to show you the applications running. So again, because of the CPU, you should be seeing all the lag throughout the video. So here is the RAM and here is the CPU. So for some reason, system monitor is consuming almost like a 25-30%. And you should be seeing the CPU without any stable graph. So this is a 60-second session or the 60 a minute timer here. So from here to here. So a minute, as you can see, you need to run like a 60 seconds in order to see whether the graph of the CPU is stable or not. So you can judge whether the CPU is stable or it has some issues. So I'm going to show you the processes. So it's going to take a bit time here because of the CPU issue. And also you can see there was a bit lag. So I have like a i5 1240p CPU and I still find this issue. So I tried even the bare metal, not the virtual machine, not the live boot. I tried in the bare metal also. So I had same issues. So I don't know whether it's my CPU or maybe it's for everyone. So you need to let me know in the comment section. So I'm going to keep the overview and I'm going to put the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video. So you should see all the changes and you judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. I'm not going to say anything here because you can see the RAM is almost 1.6 GB without opening any of the applications. CPU, you should be seeing CPU pretty much unstable. So I'm going to open the internet browser. And I'm going to show you the downloading process of the Tuxedo OS and also some additional information of the browser and also distro information. So it's going to take a few seconds to open the Firefox web browser. So here is our browser. Let's keep it on the left side so you can see the hardware resources throughout the video. Let's make it bigger. So as you can see, there is a major lag. Let me show you the version, which is the latest version of the Firefox, which is 129.0.2. And let me type in like a about support to get some distro information and also the browser information. About support, hit enter. 8.0. So the latest Linux kernel, I'm going to show you that also. Linux kernel. Hit enter. And the first link will be the official website. So the stable version right now is 6.10.6, which is released on August 19th. The long term is 6.647 and the release candidate is 6.11 RC5. So here is some information of the Linux kernel. I'm going to close it and let's go to the other information, like operating system theme is Advaita, and here is some other information. If you want to read, you can read it. I'm just going to read just the important things because the video will be a bit lengthy, so that's the reason. Memory size, it's 7.7 GB, which I already mentioned. I'm using 8 GB of RAM for the virtual machine. 6.8 GB disk space available. Here is some browser information, and just scroll it down, you should be seeing the other information like a Mesa and all those things. Just scroll it down and here you can see the window protocol is a VLAN because we chosen the window protocol in the beginning as a VLAN instead of X11. So the desktop environment KDE, whether you choose the VLAN or maybe the X11, the CPU issue doesn't change. So I'm going to show you later. I'm going to log out and I'm going to put it on the X11 session and I'm going to show you the CPU resources again. So here is some other information. Just scroll it down, you should be seeing some additional information. And let's go to the official website now. Tuxedo OS, hit enter. So this is the link for the official website. Just click on the first link. And as you can see, the mouse pointer taking hiccups there, here and there. As you can see, there is no smooth experience. Let it load the website. So here you should be seeing some additional information of the Tuxedo OS. So if you're a new Linux user who doesn't know about the Tuxedo OS, you just need to go to the official website, or you can just read it from here. So it has the modified Linux kernel, simple by default, Linux qualified, powered by Plasma. So these are all the things you get, and here is how it looks on the control center. So it has some, I'm going to show you there. So Tuxedo control center here, I'm going to show you that also. So you can download the Tuxedo OS right here. I'm going to show you some other information. So you can use, play, and work. So these are all same things which every operating system says about their operating systems. Like you can use for web, mail, chat, office, content creation, gaming. So you see everything in every Linux distro and as well as in every operating system. So you need to try it on your own and decide whether it's good for your work and good for your gaming and all those things. You decide whether it's good for you or not. Don't just go with me or just some from the website. So you need to try it on your own and decide whether it's worth using for gaming or for the work and all those things. You decide. I'm not going to say anything here. It's clearly up to your opinion, because I'm just going to make a video and I'm going to delete the operating system because I will be making 2 videos daily. So I don't really care about anything, because I don't, my main operating system is not the Tuxedo OS, so that's the problem here. So if you think it's a good Linux distro, you need to try it on your own, and if it works properly, then do let me know in the comment section. So if you already have the stable Linux running on your PC, don't try to ruin those things, because you just need to see whether the Linux distro is stable, and also the Linux distro has good support and all those things. And also you need to see the Linux distro is well known or not. So you just need to see these main things. Don't go with the looks and fashion things, because never go with these things, because you just need to want your PC with running stably, and it should have like a good support, like a 5 or 4 years, maybe 3-4 years, like that support. So you need to only concentrate on these things. Don't go with the looks, because you can customize according to your wish. Just watch tutorials, and you can do that on your own Linux distros by customizing, adding things and all those things. Just watch tutorials and you can customize your own Linux distro which has a good support. Don't go with some unknown Linux distros or like a fancy Linux distros. So this is a tip from me. If you consider it as important, you can keep it, or you can just ignore it. So you can download the Tuxedo OS from the torrent or from the HTTPS. So I'm going to show you the downloading process. So click on the download Tuxedo OS, and here you should be seeing with the other link. So it's going to take you to the files. So here is the latest version, which is 3.7 GB, and the date is here, which is August 27th, and also current ISO is also the same thing. You can download whatever you want from both the files here. And here you should be seeing our ISO file. Check the version here and verify the versions. So that was the downloading process, and that was the information from the official website. So I'm going to give all the changes in the description. Right now there is no release notes or anything right now, but as soon as I find anything, I'm going to put it in the description. You don't need to worry about some release notes, but I'm going to show most of the common things or basic things or important things. So RAM went almost 2.6 GB and CPU pretty much unstable. So let me open the terminal and type in some commands to get some browser information. Let's go to the favorite. Let me open the console and let me type in some commands. So let's make it bigger so you can see properly. Let me drag it until here. So as you can see, there is no smooth animation also. There is a bit of hiccups here and there. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I don't want to fake anything, or I don't want to give you a false information here. So everything is happening in front of you, so you can decide on your own. So the version you get is 24.08.0. So let me type in neofetch. Hit enter. So here is the operating system, Tuxedo OS. Here is my kernel version, which is 6.8.0. Uptime is almost 18 minutes. Packages 2267 dpkg, and the resolution is 1280 into 800. So it says some random resolutions here, but my monitor resolution right now is 1920 into 1080. Instead of changing by going to the display settings, instead of changing like that, I just clicked on the VMware. So it may be the cause of this 1280 into 800, but the display resolution shows in setting is 1920 into 1080 with a 16:9 ratio. And also you can just scroll it down to get some about the system information, which I already showed here, so there is nothing new here. So this is the official website, which I already shown in the beginning also. So the version you get is a 6.1.4 Wayland, and here is some additional information like a CPU, and I'm running it on the VMware, and RAM is almost like a 3 GB. So without anything, it's consuming like a 3 GB of RAM. So I don't know what's happening. So I'm going to type in inxi-sv8. So you can just get to the applications and see what is consuming that much of resources here in the history, in the process, CPU. You can keep it like that, or else you can go with the applications and find the CPU resources here. So now let's scroll it upside and find all the information. So host, it says as a Tuxedo OS, kernel already mentioned 6.8, 64-bit, and let's find some additional information. I'm sitting away from the monitor, so I'm just going to read it slowly. So the KDE Plasma version is 6.1.4 Wayland, and distro is Tuxedo OS 3 22.04.4 Jammy Jellyfish, and it's based on Ubuntu, which I already mentioned in the beginning, and it's based on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS Jammy Jellyfish. So here is the machine information or the VMware information. You just need to ignore these things because it's not important for the video. So here is the memory. It's almost 8 GB of RAM. I'm using 8 GB of RAM. Available is 7.7. Used is 3.05, which is 40%. So here is my CPU, which is i5 1240p. And here is some additional information of the CPU. If you consider as important, just pause the video and read everything. So I'm just going to point out the main things here. I'm not going to read everything. So here are the vulnerabilities, and let's get to the graphics information. So here is complete graphics information. So here is the Xorg version 1.21.1.4. Display is Wayland. Xwayland version is 23.2.4, and the EGL version is 1.4. OpenGL version is 4.3. Mesa version is 24.0.8, and other information like LLVM pipe version is 24.0.8. Here is additional information. So here is some audio information. Let me scroll it down and read it for you. So here is the ELSA version. The Pipewire version is 1.2.2. And here is some network information. I don't consider it as important, but if you want, you can read it right here. I'm just going to scroll it down. So you should be also seeing the Bluetooth, repo, sensors, and all those things. So let's scroll it completely down and let's find only important things. Process running right now are 305. Uptime is almost 19 minutes. And init systemd version is 249. GCC version is 11.4.0. INXI version is 3.3.31. Shell bash version is 5.1.16. So you got all the information here. Let me type in cat /etc/issue. So it says Tuxedo OS 3 22.04.4 LTS. So let me type in some random commands. So this will be same as the inxi-sv8, but it will be in a short form, and there will be some less information also. inxi -b, inxi-G, -F, and also you can type in htop here. So we got complete information of the terminal here. I'm going to double click on the installer. So the installation will be same as in the beginning, so there will be no change. So I'm just going to click on next. Language selection, here you need to choose your partition. If you don't know how to install the Linux distro on the virtual machine or in the hard disk, you need to watch tutorials which are available in the YouTube, but I'm going to give you a short information here. I already have a lot of videos in my channel, but I never made a specific installation tutorials because I'll be covering complete distro information like features and all those things. So my videos will be a bit lengthy also. So instead of recommending my videos, I am going to recommend others' videos because there will be some videos like 2 or 3 minutes videos. So you can just watch the installation tutorials. But if you want to watch my videos, you can watch it, but I really don't remember in which Linux distro I installed it on the main disk or a hard disk, so that's the reason. And also my videos will be a bit lengthy because of covering everything of that specific Linux distro. So here you need to choose the partition, not the partition, you need to first choose the installation drive or the hard disk, whatever you have. So choose your installation drive here. If you have like a multiple installation drive, choose the specific drive. So erase disk option is like it's going to delete everything in that specific chosen drive, and it's going to only install the Tuxedo OS. If you have like a media files, videos, music, whatever it has, even the current operating system, it's going to erase everything. So that's the reason I already mentioned that you need to watch installation tutorials before choosing or installing Linux distro. If you're already a Linux user, you know what to do here. If you're a new Linux comer, then it's better to watch some tutorials. So this is like a single boot operating system. It's going to erase everything and it's going to install the Tuxedo OS computer, and it's going to boot in the Tuxedo OS computer only. So you should be having single operating system when you choose here, and here are the options. And when you go with the manual partitioning, you need to create a partition before choosing your this option. And you should be seeing the partition here, and you can install the Tuxedo OS in that specific partition. And you should be seeing 2 operating systems in the boot menu, and you should be having like a dual operating systems or a dual boot operating systems in the PC. So you should be seeing that in the boot menu. So when you choose the erase disk, you can encrypt your system. If you want to provide the password, you should be same in both the boxes. If you don't want the encryption, just uncheck it. And here is the bootloader location. Here you should be seeing 3 options, which is a master boot record of that specific drive. In my case, it's a VMware, so it says as a VMware. It should be different for you. And the other option is system partition, and the another will be do not install a bootloader. So the current drive will be like this. After installation, it will be like this. Click next. And here you need to create a user account or the account creation, which is same in every Linux distro and also in every operating system. So it says what is your name, just type in your name here. I'm going to choose the 95 Linux for the name because it's my channel name, so that's the reason. What name do you want to use to log in? If you use the numericals first, let me show you. You should be seeing with the error sign like your username must start with a lowercase letters or underscore. So you need to add the alphabets instead of numericals. I'm choosing the run boxing. If everything is going good, you should be seeing a tick mark beside the boxes. So what is the name of this computer? You can keep it as a Tuxedo OS. You can change it to whatever you want. You can change, in my case, I'm going to change it to 925 Linux. So you can change it like this. And for the password, you need to choose a strong password. For the sake of the video, I'm choosing the simple password. So let me try it again. So we need to have like a 6 characters here. So the password contains fewer than 2 character classes. So you need to uncheck it if you want a simple password. But if you want a strong password, just check this option. I'm going to uncheck it and log in automatically without asking for the password. If you want to check it, you can check it or uncheck it. When you click on next, it's going to show you a summary and it's going to install. And the installation process will take like a 20 to 25 minutes if you have a low-end PC, and if you have like a high-end PC, it should be very quick. And also it depends on the stable ISO file and also in the beta version or a development version. So if you downloaded the stable ISO file, the installation will be 99% without any issues will be installed. But if you download the unstable version or a beta version, there will be some rare cases like installation may fail and the screen will be frozen there, and also like a not responding things will be pop up like this. All the issues you may face in the beta version or unstable version. If you are a distro hopper, you can try the beta version, unstable version, but if you are a normal user, always wait for the stable ISO file and then try it. So that was the installation process. Because I need to make another video, so that's the reason I'm just going to close it here. So I'm going to show you the control center, which is pretty much same as in the previous version. So there is nothing change in the control center, but I'm going to show you. So here is our dashboard, here is the profiles. You can change according to your wish. You can toggle on, you can toggle off, you can keep it Tuxedo default, new profile, power extreme, default. So you can do whatever you want here. Here are the presets, here are the custom, in use, all. You can change anything here. Here are the profiles, tools, queries. So you can turn it on, turn it off. You can do whatever you want here. So I didn't turn on the webcam, so that's the reason. Here you can see that. Here are the Tuxedo defaults. You can change the language, you can change the settings, you can change the theme to dark. You can do whatever you want here. So these are all some customization things. So I'm just going to close it. Let's check some desktop wallpapers. So you usually don't see any bunch of wallpapers here. Most of them will be from the KDE Plasma and a few will be with Tuxedo OS. And they should be having like a watermark on the wallpaper also. So that's a bit annoying for me. So in my point of view, it's like annoying, but if you consider it's okay, then you can try the wallpapers. So let me show you some wallpapers here. So these are the Tuxedo OS added wallpapers. These are from the KDE Plasma wallpapers. So when you choose the wallpaper, you should be seeing the Tuxedo Computers logo here. So that's a bit annoying. So there is like a nature wallpaper and you should be seeing like this logo. So that's a bit annoying in my point of view, but if it's okay for you, it's okay. So let's check some desktop features like a date and time. So this is KDE Plasma desktop environment, so you don't without any change or anything here. Let me show you some system settings. Before that, let me show you what applications you get pre-installed. So basically get the KDE Plasma desktop environment cleanly without any added things. You just get some Tuxedo applications like 4 applications. So you just basically get KDE Plasma desktop environment. If you ask me, I'm going to just say it's better to use the KDE Neon Linux distro instead of this Linux distro, but it's clearly up to you to whatever you want to use, you can do here. So Tuxedo OS control, we already saw that. So I'm going to open some bunch of applications to do a stress test to see whether this distro will handle day-to-day tasks, because a normal user will be opening like a browsing. He should be browsing and using the media player and also some file managers and photo editing app. So the normal user will be opening like 4 to 5 applications. So let's see whether this distro will handle that test or not. So in this case, the CPU went almost 100%, RAM went up to almost 4.5 GB, and you can see the mouse pointer having some issues. So I don't want to say anything here, everything is visible in front of you, so it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. The distro is good, but the desktop environment has issues, so that's the only thing for me. So that are my thoughts on this Linux distro. So distro has good name, but the desktop environment has some issues. So I'm just going to skip this version, but it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not, because it's your PC. You need to be responsible. Do your research and try it on the virtual machines, live boot, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. But if you already have a stable version, don't try to install anything, because if you already have running a good Linux distro stably and it has a good support, it has like a few years of support, then don't try to ruin those things just for some fancy things. So you don't get basically anything here other than the KDE Plasma desktop environment and some 4 applications from the Tuxedo OS computer. So you don't get a bunch of wallpapers here. There is no customization in the desktop environment. You basically get the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So I'm not going to recommend if you already have a stable running Linux distro. So if you want to customize, you can watch some tutorials in the YouTube. There will be some videos on how to customize your desktop environment. You can do that on your own Linux distro. Don't try to go with some fancy Linux distros. Always go with the stable and which has a good support, like a few years of support, and a well-known Linux distros. So it will be a good option, and also it should be good for the privacy also if you go with the well-known Linux distros, which is already available for almost like a decade or like a 5-6 years of experience, which is for example Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Zorin. There are a lot of Linux distros which is from a lot of years. You can go with those type of Linux distros. So I'm going to just end the video here because there is literally nothing here, and also we don't have any release notes or anything. So I'm going to provide every release notes here, and I already covered most of the things, like 80% of the things. Like I showed all the audio information, graphics information on all those things. And about the applications, there is literally nothing other than some applications like a LibreOffice and all those things. Let me show you those application information and I'm going to end the video. So when you open a bunch of applications here, so it should be CPU will be going up to 100% and RAM will be up to 4 GB, 5 GB. So there will be some difference in the bare metal. When you install it on the bare metal, there will be some difference in the RAM, like a 400 MB, 500 MB of difference. You should be seeing that much of difference. You don't see like a 1.5 GB or 1.8 GB of difference. You just see a minor difference there. So that will be a bit difference, and there will be a smooth experience if the KDE Plasma doesn't have issue on the bare metal. In my case, it has the same issue, but I don't know how it's going to perform on your PC. So if you ask about the system requirements to run this Linux distro, there is no system requirements to run this Linux distro. They have no information, but I'm going to say that in order to run almost like a 60 to 70% of Linux distros in 2024, you need to have like a 2 GHz processor of like a dual core Pentium or like a i3 or maybe like a i5, whatever it is. Go with the 2 GHz processor. And about the RAM, you need to have like a 4 GB of RAM. And about the hard disk, you need to have like a 50-60 GB of hard disk. And about the monitor, you need to have like a 1366 into 768. About the video RAM, you need to have like maybe 256 MB should be good, I guess. So if you have like a graphics card, you can do that. If you don't have a graphics card, try it on your own, and do let me know in the comment section, because I have a graphics card, so I'm going to talk according to my graphics card. So I'm going to show you the system monitor. So it's consuming 4.5 GB just for the Thunderbird, LibreOffice and browser, file manager and Discover. So these are not the bunch of resource consuming applications. They just consume a less RAM, but in this case it's consuming 4.5 GB of RAM. CPU is unstable. Applications are right here. History is in front of you. Here are the processors. So these are all the processors right now. So there was some sound or notification in the background. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to end the video here. So these are all the resources right now. So if you want to install, you can install. You can go and check the about, change the settings. Here are the updates. So there will be no updates because the ISO file is released a few hours ago. So here is the information. Let me show you the LibreOffice information. You get the 24.8.0.3. So here is the file manager. So most of the desktop environment version will be 24.08. So I'm not going to show every application here. So the Thunderbird should be having the Supernova, I guess. So 115.13. I'm going to close. Again, there was a lag. So major lag. Here is the browser. We already saw the version of the browser. So you pretty much get the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So I'm going to end the video here. So here are all the resources at the end of the video, and there was a major lag, as you can see the mouse pointer. So I'm going to show you the logout screen and I'm going to end the video. So even if you switch to the other session, you should be having same issue. Let me show you that, because some of the users will point out that there will be, if you change the session, there will be no issue with the CPU, but I'm going to show you that also. So I tried even in the bare metal, I had the same issues. So I don't know how you were thinking like that, but I'm going to show you. So right now we are using Wayland. I'm going to choose the X11 and the password is TUX, same as the username. And now you can see the CPU will be having the same issue. Let me show you the system monitor. Let it load properly. So it's going to take a few seconds, and after opening everything, I'm going to show you in the browser and also in the system monitor. So let it take some time. Let me open the system monitor. So you should be seeing the CPU with same issue. And let me show you that I changed the session. Let me type in about support. Let me dismiss. So same issue. So I'm going to shut down the video, and it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. I already said my thoughts, so it's clearly up to you. Thanks for watching. Peace out.